Shit, I gotta apologize. I told you I would tell you before I shut off the ThetaZilla mint.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh, I shut it off right before this call.
Oh, whoa. All right, that's fair. I mean, it's more fair doing it before I get a chance to tap it a few more times and nobody else does. All right, wow. All right. Just a mind-blowing episode here.
He just saved that for the end.
Yeah, right? Wow. All right.
This week's episode is brought to you by Nona's Secret Stash of Sauce, the best sauce known to mankind and not available on shelves anywhere. Even when the freezer is full of sauce, there's still no sauce for you. You want some of Nona's sauce? Too bad. Only Nona decides who gets the sauce. This week's episode is brought to you by WWZ. Not good enough to win in the Hack-a-thon, but providing entertainment on a daily basis within the Theta community. You still don't have a PixZilla? What are you waiting for? $7 worth of T-Fuel to become part of the most electrifying Discord game known to man. Get yours on opentheta.io today.
Pop is popping and locking. Magnum scrutinizing. Papa Max Pinecast.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 10 of the Poppin' Mags Pinecast. Mags, how you doing tonight? Mags? Mags, you there? Oh, sorry guys, I think Mags must be on the toilet or something. But listen, we got some count-ups to do here, so let's get to it. It's been 194 days now since we were told we can get our K-Fuel. Still counting that one up. Our play staking index, we're now up to 213 days past due. The R play airdrops, we're looking at 296 days. And the peel effect now coming in at 39 days. Hopefully we can end some of these here pretty soon. Bear with me a minute, folks, while I go find Mags. I'm not sure what's going on here. You might just be stuck with me tonight. Just playing. We got an awesome show for you guys coming up, and we're going to get right to it. The one and only TZC with our boy Macktastic. After these messages.
We've got it all figured out except this fifth roll business with tungsten plasma sitting out.
Yeah, well, I don't think Mac knows because he just hopped on.
That's what I'm saying.
He chose not to fight.
You might know.
He didn't like his stats. He chose not to fight. I mean, in Tungsten, I talked to him. He's still pissed about Spartan stats. He's fucking fuming. You think a SpartanZilla would be pretty strong, and it's the weakest thing. And now my Picasso can't even get entered.
A lot of complaints 2 minutes in.
I'm sorry. So if you're just joining us, we are here with ThetaZillaClub and Pogstick, friends of the Pinecast. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Our
Thanks
pleasure.
for having us, guys.
Our pleasure. And actually, it was my pleasure to outlast all you guys in WWZ tonight. So that was nice.
Oh, that was hold for applause? Okay, we did that. Moving on.
Yeah, you got the Rob Feldman applause in there, right?
Yeah. You think I could figure out a soundboard?
You don't have a
Deck.
live laugh track?
No.
I brought mine. I set mine up.
In this Web3 world or whatever, everything's 3, we decided to basically do a 1920s radio show. So we went the other way. We could have went into the future, but we actually went into the past, and we're basically doing a radio show.
It's part of our charm.
So
Okay.
you work with what you get, I guess.
So how you guys doing? I've been looking forward to this recording for about 2.5 days now.
2.5 days. Why are you so excited for this one, Sheriff?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because I have no idea what it's about. This is one of the few projects that I've had on where I'm actually already a heavy investor in the project and
Same.
have been since inception.
Great movie.
Watched it a few times.
I just watched it last night. Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, no, I've been a fan of the Zillas from the first drop. So here we are. I'm still a fan of the Zillas. I actually have an admission here. I sold a Zilla I think like 9 months ago, I must have just put one up for sale so that my MetaMask would start to count them for me. And I thought it was like way high enough to not sell. And then all of a sudden it was gone. Just maybe about a month and a half ago. I think it was one of you guys that bought it.
It was me. I thought it was you, and I was like, Sheriff, no one can get PixZillas from Sheriff. So I snagged that.
You are the only person that's ever bought a PixZilla from me. There's a few that have gotten some for free, but you are the only person to buy one off me.
I tried.
Nice.
Oh, wait. No, you did too. That's right. I did sell one to Mac, right?
I tried. Oh, you did sell me.
You
Yes. Sold me a rare. You did.
A custom one. Yes.
Yes.
You were looking for an animal custom. I can't remember which one it was.
The bear. And you were.
Oh, the Bearzilla.
It was a very quick and easy deal. Thank you, Stone.
Yeah. My pleasure. Now I'm wondering if that was a good idea or not.
Well, I heard you managed to not do the bulk deal.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yes, I dodged the bulk deal. Yes, that
I got hit with that.
I don't know if Mags knows this. Yeah, I did get Mags. I didn't know if he knew that Sheriff got out of it. He claimed he was under the weather.
I cannot confirm or deny.
I mean, I can confirm. I have chat records, but my questioning tone is I'm not sure if that was the truth because a couple of days went by and I never heard back on going through with I think it was 50 at maybe 110, which
it was.
Like to exercise
I think it was. I think it was 110. You're right. And I tried to become the master of just like avoiding. Like I just disappear sometimes. Like I've disappeared on CWB a few times because he keeps on bringing up the alien. And as soon as he brings it up, I just ghost the conversation.
Well, you know what else he's been bringing up though is internship. CWB is totally down to intern for you guys. Like I forget the position name. Oh, rug policeman was what he was looking to do.
Oh boy. Boy.
We need a few good rug policemen. I can say that. Submit applications to papamags@gmail.com.
No, he wants to do it though. Yeah.
It's a full commission position.
Do you get an alien for it?
No. He's got he finds the rug and then he gets a piece of the rug, right?
Oh.
We'll give him
I've been trying to wrestle an alien out of Sheriff from the beginning, and that's a losing proposition that I won't even entertain anymore.
I only have 2,
Yeah, there's only 5 of them. Controls 40% of the alien Zilla supply.
Anyways, so let's get started. Let's just talk about poker, man. That's where really all this started, was just kicking it, playing poker. Mac and I started chatting at ThetaCon 22, and he decided to join the poker club. We've been doing the ThetaZilla Poker Club. We just wrapped up season 1. We had our season 1 championship, 52 weeks of poker. We had a final table with 10 people in it, a playing game to get to that final table. Our friend NF Theta Purveyor ended up taking down the championship. Career 1.
Nice. Very nice.
So he gets 2 shout outs down the Pinecast.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row. That's fine. But hold on a second. So the poker's been going on for over a year. Mac was playing poker before ThetaCon, right? Because I remember getting the call out for not showing up. And then I showed up and he wasn't there.
No, I think I was either just watching the
really?
stream, maybe, or it was right after ThetaCon. I think your timing's pretty close, but
okay,
maybe a few weeks difference.
All right, interesting.
I was a lurker on the channel first.
Did you play poker with them at ThetaCon?
I did not. No.
Yeah, you were hanging out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't really chat at ThetaCon until like Sunday night. I think everyone was really gone. It was just me, you, CWB, and NEC at that bar. Sunday, like 2:30 a.m. late night crew. Yeah, that's where Mac and I like really got to know each other, just playing poker, and then we just started talking about projects, things we were looking to build and whatnot, and that's when we got started on the Mixmaster Zilla. He showed a bot that another project was doing that like was up his wheelhouse, and we were looking at that in ways that we can improve upon it, make it cooler, and that's where the Mixmasterzilla came from.
So we're talking the Good Morning Zillas, the Good Night Zillas, 420 Zillas,
Yep.
Ladies Night, and now the newest edition, the WWZ.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah, so that was a cool project in and of itself, just to have those features and, get to post them on Twitter to everybody that says good morning, where it's just like, I don't really feel like hitting GM and replying, but I don't mind copy and pasting one of my Zillas with a coffee cup and posting that.
Yeah, for sure. Fun concept with like a lot going on under the hood, right? We've got all new layers on the PixZilla, like a completely rebuilt project. We've got the beautiful button layout. Love the buttons. Then there's the morphing between the new layers, the rarity amongst the new layers, the roll gated layers or the roll gated attributes. Just a lot of stuff going on under the hood on that.
Do you guys know about the roll gated attributes?
Zilla mentioned something just recently to me, so I'm curious, is the golden mug, that must be one?
Yeah.
I tweeted it. I tweeted that we had the roll gated.
I did see that. Yeah, I think it was a reply to Mac's tweet. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, we were trying to point out some of its features that maybe other image generators don't have. This is something I've been doing for, I just did the math earlier today. 6 years was my first procedurally generated image project for digital advertisements. So the agency I worked at represented some brands that had, many smaller brands underneath an umbrella. And when they published an ad, they needed many versions of that ad for each brand and each language. And so it was pretty normal for me to write applications that would modify images and relayer them, do what we're doing here. So when we saw a couple other bots in the NFT space that were doing kind of an approximation of that, the analogy I've used is we've seen a couple of bots where you can give it your PFP and it lets you decorate it like buying a cake at the store that's already been made and frosted and you're just adding things to it. Mixmasterzilla is baking you a whole new cake. It can change the flavor of the cake. It can use different frosting. And you've seen that where, the layers interact in ways that they can't if you're just adding things after the fact. So it's something that we've used in very whimsical ways with GMs and GNs, but that ability to remix the NFT's image is something that opens the door to a lot of other things.
Are the backgrounds, are they all unique? Like for Good Mornings? It seems like they always change a little bit, or am I wrong?
That's one of those roll gated attributes. So you're more likely to get certain ones depending on which roles you have relative to your collection.
Because even it seems like when you get the beach scene, it always seems like it's just a little bit different than the last one.
I would have to defer to TZC.
Yeah, there's 10 backgrounds in the majority of the genres. 10 beach backgrounds, yeah. And those are from Midjourney. I seeded them out with a pixel image that I used. And actually one of my custom landscapes is in the Good Morning landscape collection. So like one of those I built, and then the rest of them were regenerated with Midjourney from that image, which is difficult to do on its own. Just getting Midjourney to give you like quality pixel art, like that's not an easy task. So yeah, I mean, Mac really explained that well, what we're doing with it. And the other thing about it is like it's really kind of what we see as the difficult like part of building out like breeding for the collection for the PixZilla. That's not something that like is completed, but we do believe that like the mix master part is that's the tough part in our eyes.
Yep. Good point.
We actually started building that about 2 weeks into the hackathon. It wasn't really like, we didn't team up to be like, yo, let's do something for the hackathon. We were just kind of having fun building, seeing what we could come up with. We did the mix master, and then we kind of took a few days and sat back, and we were looking at just the state of the blockchain, what all was going on with Theta, and I was looking at the Explorer page and I saw there were 17,000 transactions in that given day. That led me down the thought path of how can we generate 17,000 on-chain transactions in a single day? Just us. And we were tossing around like ideas for quite a few days before we came up with the WWZ model. So for those of y'all that don't know, WWZ, what we're doing is we're taking our PixZilla, we're procedurally generating combatants with the PixZilla. The generations are individual layers all stacked together. Well, all these layers have various stats applied to them. And the stats all summed up together are the combatant, right? So all your combatant has the different stats, and then right now they're battling in a free-for-all format.
Right. It's just a way better version of the Pine games that we played, to be honest with you, because you roll the dice. Basically, you get 5 rolls of the dice, and you get to pick the combatant that you want. You got to be careful. If you discard, he's not coming back. But they all have different, health power, health regeneration, how much energy it takes to attack, how zealous they are, how often they're going to attack again, how much heat they have, like how often they are to get attacked. And then you got armor and agility and accuracy. So it's really cool. There's a lot of different fields that come into play that you have to take into consideration, and they're all randomly generated. So you can't just get the perfect one you want. And it's crazy because honestly, I feel like sometimes, like on my first roll, I could get a banger, and you obviously play that one, and then the next 4, they're all like super close to being as good. And then sometimes you get it where it's like, like everything's 2 stars and it seems like it carries all the way through. So I don't know if there's any that's just me saying that, or if there's does one roll impact another, or are they just all fresh starts?
Good question. They're independent.
Okay. So that's how it works. And like they were saying with some of the attributes, so you got like theta or T fuel attributes that have bonus potential within some of the stat lines, and I know there's a few others, like the what's that one that you like, Zilla?
The pilot hat?
Pilot hat, yeah.
Yeah. Pilot hat's got high HP plus, and HP plus is kind of like the king of the meta right now.
Yeah.
So,
it did get nerfed. I know everyone was happy to hear that. Yes, it did get nerfed.
Okay. Well, interesting. I'm sure it'll still be positive, but
yeah, it's still a good thing.
I have the pilot helmet, dude, and I rolled 4 times with it, and I didn't get one pilot helmet on my Zilla. So I dumped it and went back to my T Fuel headband for roll 5.
Yeah, it happens like that. Sometimes you go into battle with a dud, unless of course you just choose to sit out the entire battle because
interesting strategy.
You gotta be mindful of your KD. Everyone knows that. Come on, guys.
Is it helping your stats sitting out?
Probably not, but it's better than getting rocked and getting bounced the first round. So the first possible.
But you still get 1 point for that.
You do.
Yeah.
1 usually beats 0.
So. Yeah, you're leaving points on the table.
I got pride on the table. Well, it's not me. It's that other guy. But because myself and Sheriff are meta status in the Zilla land, and I saw Mac just joined meta status.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I did.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations, Mac. That's like a huge climb.
And you didn't mint any when they were out, right, Mac?
That's true. I didn't mint any Zillas, neither Pix nor original. My first Zilla came from Char, actually. He sent it to me, like 18 months ago. It was a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
What a guy that Char is.
I know, right?
He really is.
Yeah, he just sent me, we were talking about rarity or something, and he just sent it to my wallet and said, I think these are cool. thanks for talking rarity. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was from both of us.
Yeah, Mags help him pick it out which one to send.
Yeah, that's cool. Char's always spreading love with NFTs. I love seeing that from, well, everyone really, but I mean, it's just an awesome gesture. Really kind person. He's in the poker club, like playing with us every week, really, and it's a pleasure. So it's really humbling to hear that like people pass around the Zillas and share with one another and get people into the community. Like I love hearing that. That's kind of why I wanted there to be so many of them.
All right, so where do we go next from? So now we got WWZ, we got our combatants, we got HP getting nerfed, HP Plus, which is great because MLD Tech has been untouchable lately.
That's true. Zilla made the observation that HP Plus comes from mostly right now the base set. So if you have PixZillas that have certain attributes, the NFTs, that's where the HP Plus is coming from. So it is for this patch just nerfed. I think it's kind of interesting that stat is a little harder to get, but we'll look at that too. Right now, it's just a change in the magnitude.
Especially for zombies, it's near impossible to get any HP plus.
Yeah,
Right.
well, you know why, right? That's
Why is
thematic. They're dead.
Because they're dead.
Yeah. They have lots of armor, but no health because they're dead.
Yeah. No, I got it. It's just like I was complaining.
Don't seem amused.
No. I don't know if it's changed since then, but I complain to Zilla all the time, don't I? And so, anyways, there was the one where I finished third place somehow with the zombie, which is near impossible. But the person in first and second, I think, was it Salty and someone else? But anyways, they were like both 200 HP because they kept going down. Then there was a time Sheriff was like at the top of the heap. Then he got attacked a bunch of times. He went down to below me. I was at like 6 or something HP. He did a double death kill and he kept growing health. And it's like, I can't do anything. I just can't get hit. That's all.
Yeah, it was a tough meta for people without HP plus, and like if you weren't looking at the guide and looking at the stats and paying attention to like who won and why they won, like it was tough to figure out. But we have guide.wwz.gg. You can like look through all the OG stats and see where the HP plus is coming from, but where it kind of got a little you would see consistent winners, like people who were consistently at the top. The WWZ Alpha kit, it didn't have any HP plus attributes in it, and that wasn't like intentional. We didn't mean to just have it so that you had to have the HP plus from the OGs to compete well. That's something that we don't want to run into. We don't want it to be a pay to win game. We want it to be like you have maybe a better chance, but at the same time, it should be a skill based game. That's the goal.
I would say eventually it would even be not a better chance, but just different build paths. That may not be true yet. We totally admit we are not yet tuning these numbers with any kinds of, simulated battles or anything like that. We're still building some infrastructure out. So there will be little metas like this that emerged, and we'll correct them as they pop up. But balance will be a bigger focus eventually.
I think my point is, I just want to point out the fact that I was aware of the guide and I looked at the guide, but I like playing with a handicap because that would make my win so much more miraculous.
True. And I mean, sometimes I play for looks, I'll put whatever Zilla out there I want because, they look good, like my alligator.
Oh, yeah.
Or the bear Popper mentioned.
The alligator. I like the alligator.
And it's just, it's fun.
Has Sheriff ever brought out the Sheriff?
Negative.
Why not?
I think it's actually my brother that owns the Sheriff.
Oh, okay.
I have tried with some other customs though, and they just get destroyed. So I stopped doing that.
Yeah, there's a couple reasons for that right now. One is most customs are missing access to some slot when you're rolling. Like they don't have boots or they don't have a helmet because they come with one.
Gotcha.
And at the moment, those don't give a custom anything. Our focus has been on the broader set. We may go back and do more there, but there are lots of other fun things you can do with customs.
Max, I was just wondering, how was playing with a handicap working out for you? You winning a
Hey,
lot?
I got that third place finish. You know, if you're not third, you're nothing.
Okay,
you know?
so you got 1 3rd place. Is that
Well, with whatever the
Is that
new
your
meta
championship?
is, I'm like the team that always gets to the playoffs, and you don't want to face them,
but they lose.
But they lose. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to get that on record.
We haven't really been balancing too much. One of the main things that we just put in recently was like the detailed guide, the turn by turn attack report, the stats page. Those are really cool and just constantly updating live. Like as the game is played, the turn pages are produced. As the matches are recorded, the stat pages are updated. As you roll your Zilla, you can click it and you look at the details and it'll tell you everything in your build. It'll tell you all of your new items that you got from the alpha kit and what has power. It's pretty cool.
It is very cool. And I'm curious, like it seems like towards the end of the games, some of the power attacks get more powerful. Is that accurate?
Yes. 2.5%. Every turn.
2.5%.
Every turn that you attack right now, your total damage capacity goes up 2.5%. That's for everybody. And the reason for that is in one of the, I can't remember which one it was, but in one of the testing scenarios, we ended up with an infinite game. This was when HP Plus was even stronger than it is now. And 2 combatants were left, and neither was doing enough damage to overcome their health regeneration. And so that led to this small percentage now that we add that is meant to, we all understand what 2.5% growth looks like as you compound that. So that'll beat the HP Plus eventually.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about this here in a minute, but we don't always want to be in a position where we are managing the game. Like right now, if that happened, TZC has been running the games. He could stop it and correct it, but we're putting ourselves in a position, we're going to talk about this, where that's not always good. We'd rather it work itself out.
Gotcha. Yeah, I noticed one time I had a guy that had like heavy armor and I got like 80 damage on me. And then I look it up and it was like maximum damage would have been like 185. I was like, whoa, okay.
Right now, and that percent started as even higher. It still might get adjusted more. Damage is right now, but definitely a late game stat. So I've heard people in battles talk about this, how certain stats help you earlier in the game and certain help you at the end of the game. Damage right now pays off later.
It pays off early too, depending on who you attack.
True.
I mean, you get a big hit on someone you're going for, and I mean, that's a W.
Was that a record the other day? The 12 kills in a match?
That was
highest I've seen.
15.
I'm sorry, I said it was the highest I've seen.
Oh. Yeah. 12's the highest I've seen too. I was going to say, I did not see 15.
I do have battles sometimes with robots, and the stats get confused in my head if it was a real game or just me fighting myself.
No, there was definitely 12. I think MLD took down 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts. He's been on a tear, absolute tear.
Oh yeah, he's got like he had the perfect PixZilla for that last meta. Like he was just crushing everyone, and Grim had a good one too. Him and Grim.
Yeah, the green eyeshadow attacker. Yeah,
right.
F you, Grim.
F you, Grim.
3 weeks in a row, I think, right, Sheriff?
I think that's 3 in a row. I minted an FU Grim emote for Theta TV to give away on Poker Night to the top 3, but it wouldn't mint on Theta TV, so I guess everyone will get it next week.
Well, they ran out of T-Fuel, probably.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't test it this time. I'm over it. Were y'all watching that when I did that?
When you put the
yeah.
Before you're talking about?
Yeah, the last time. Yeah, I didn't remember if y'all were live when I did that or not.
Yeah. And I think we've talked. I think I brought it up recently, and we've talked about it a bunch of times on the, as you know, but
'Cause I
yeah,
listen every week.
what's that?
I said because I listen every week.
Every week, and you stream most weeks.
He streams it every week. We're not sure if
Unless
he
the
listens.
episode is just like something I'm not trying to
unless
stream.
unless the episode is too controversial for TV, then it doesn't get aired.
Yeah, we have high standards on the ThetaZillaClub.
But that's cool. That means ThetaZillaClub listens to it before he plays it.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
getting-
I've been listening to them ahead of time for a while now. Ever since y'all started talking about WWZ all the time, I was like, yeah, I need to listen to this in the morning. Because it's exciting. I like listening to what y'all say about the project. Like it's humbling.
So Mac alluded to, I think, where we're headed here. Why don't we figure out what this is all about, guys? You mentioned something about having to basically babysit these matches. Is that not going to need to be a thing in the future?
It's not going to be the only format. Supervised matches aren't a bad thing. I don't want to paint that as something we're getting away from. There's a time and a place. But Zilla, was there anything else you want to talk about before we get into? Maybe he wants to take this away.
No, I don't mind y'all just going away like that. The only thing that we didn't touch on was the podiums. I just think it's cool that we've got the generative podiums with like all the different backgrounds on them, like the same as the other mixed master stuff. 10 backgrounds, only one podium at the moment, but then we take the 3 procedurally generated PixZilla that were in the top 3 of the battle, and then we rescale them and place them on the podium. I just think that's cool. Like it's not your standard like remix type rebuilt NFT. It's like we're really doing stuff with them. It's just to give y'all a taste of what we can do. Like Mac mentioned earlier, we're not really going hard on any of these single features that have been built out. We're just kind of showing you guys the general what can be done.
That's a good point. Like we could have dozens of podium images. We're showing you 4 because that's what gets the feature across right now. We're trying to build as quickly as we can and show as much as gets the point across.
I noticed you haven't used it, but I think I was the only one ever to achieve miniaturization on the podium.
You took the blue one.
my first ever podium, and I was shrunking.
I can tell you what happened, or should we leave it to mystery? Is it better?
Oh, you know what? Let's tease that for like another time.
Okay, let's say it's partly your fault.
I disagree with that, but you're gonna have to listen.
How do you disagree? He doesn't even know why yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, there was a moment where I said, "Don't use an animated Zilla," and you did. So you got what you had coming to you.
Okay. Well, sometimes the base runner has to ignore the coach at third and just take home.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what happened.
All right, I think we took a left turn here somewhere.
All right, all right.
Y'all want to see what we're up to?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we want to talk to you about is really version 06 is coming out imminently. This is a staging area that we're going to show you some of it on. PVB2.
FFA.
I actually think PVB2.
Okay. Yeah, let's do PVB2. Do y'all know what PVB is? Any guesses off the top of your head?
Player versus bot.
Close.
Yeah, that is close.
Player versus boss. Why don't you take a peek in that thread?
Humble boss.
So,
oh my goodness.
The concept of a boss is new. I'm going to hit train. This little menu to guide yourself instead of commands is new. The training part is the same with an exception. And that is after I train this one, I can keep training and add more to my team because we have teams now.
Wow. Okay.
And you're going to take your team and fight that boss. In this case, the humble boss.
Oh, so you get 4 guys to take down Magnum.
You can use up to 4. And in Humble Boss's case, you might get away with fewer than 4. He's
weak.
I wouldn't say he just wants you to get to know the game. You know, he's not trying to put you down.
He's humble.
He's
a humble boss. Yeah.
I'll just train a couple here to prove the point. And then I'm going to hit this start match button, which I did it really quickly, it probably wasn't noticeable. I started this game with a command that anyone can use. So this is a self-directed game. What we were talking about earlier with me saying, eventually we don't want to be managing games entirely ourselves. You can just start them yourself now when you're ready, when your team's ready. I think I only have 2, but I'm going to hit play anyway. You can start it, and there goes my game. As many people can play as they want at a time. Each one happens in its own thread. There you go. You see the boss. Oh, his dodgy puns missed.
That's
amazing.
Usually a good attack.
Well, it landed the second time. You're right.
Humble Boss has attacked with dodgy puns. The combatant has responded with an attack with Fire Orb. Humble Boss has taken 28 damage. Humble Boss attacks back with hard-hitting questions.
But
Missed.
Standard.
The Humble Boss attack with the full force of the tens and tens of listeners.
I didn't even see that one.
I didn't
that's
either.
amazing.
Yeah.
There it is.
There we go.
When you beat a boss, you can play it again, but it gets harder each time. And each time you beat it, you go further up the scoreboard.
Humble Boss wins.
Yay!
GG's, Humble Boss.
He's so humble. Can I tell everyone who Humble Boss is?
Yes.
It's MagnumZilla, the custom PixZilla. So are the bosses the customs? Or
maybe that should lead us to our second conversation.
Oh boy, okay.
Do you think, Zilla? Is that the right segue? I know there's
I
more.
think that's the right
segue.
Here, let's just roll right into
let's just go with it.
Not planned. Not planned at all.
Bosses in this server may be the custom Zillas, but we're branching out into other servers.
Okay.
So you're going to be able to play WWZ in other Discord servers, other groups, maybe NFT collections or just a gaming group. You can play in other servers, and they may choose different bosses themed to what they do there.
Very interesting. I mean, how much work?
I feel like I should try to explain that again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm confused, but
okay.
I'm always confused.
Well, I understood, but go ahead.
Great.
Let me try again. So with version 0.5 and before, you could play WWZ in the ThetaZillaClub Discord server using your PixZillas. We demoed a week or two ago, I think it was a couple weeks ago, the ability to run the same game in another server. We used the ThetaZilla Poker Club.
The Discord is just named Theta Poker Club.
There we go. So we ran it, the current game that you're used to there. What we're releasing with version 6 is the ability to play, for example, well, I don't know if I want to give away an example like that. You can run WWZ in another server, Discord server, with different NFTs.
Okay.
It's exactly what you said before.
Damn it.
I got it this time, though. I think I got it this time.
Maybe the example is what we need to make it crystal clear. So the first one we're going to do this in is Tygons. You're going to be able to play WWZ with Tygons in the Tygon server.
All right.
It's a little different. I don't want to make it sound like it's totally the same, but
it's the same engine. It's a different car.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Congratulations, guys. That's amazing.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I think that's cool. Playing
cool.
Tygons, that's wild.
Well, you've created a game that is now able to be used in many different places, and that's super cool. I'm assuming that what on the Tygons, I don't know how much you want to get into it, but on the Tygon side, I'm assuming that they can just pick a few attributes that they want and apply it to the attribute bonuses similar to what PixZillas do.
So numerically, we can do some things. We won't have the same image effects going on that we do with PixZillas. That part, at least for now, is a PixZilla exclusive. But
Right,
yes,
which
rolling
makes sense.
for
Yeah.
but rolling for stats, yes, absolutely. And at the moment, attributes don't affect that. You're rolling within a range that's defined by what is a Tygon, but that can get deeper. But that's where we are now.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't imagine like, you know, the art, obviously, that's John Heater art versus, you know, your own, like Zilla's own art. So that makes sense that the art wouldn't be updated. But the engine behind it, working with another NFT is pretty cool. Wait a second. So you have a Tygon going up against a Zilla?
I do.
Whoa.
That's not all we can do. So the game plays out normally. All the same features well, that needs to be fixed. That's pretty funny. Mags, we have the opposite of your shrinking problem.
Yeah.
The Tygon is quite large in the ceremony photo, but it won. The Tygon won. And that's happening here in the ThetaZillaClub Discord, but Tygons are going to be able to play in the Tygon Discord. They can play over here too, but the Tygon community can make it a community thing.
Gotcha. So this is obviously just using the same open theta. You got to have your Tygons on open theta. Or
Zilla, would you like to talk about that?
Well, we would like to have them just verify with the Zilla Pass so that they can connect their profile ID to a wallet, or just so that we could have the profile ID connected with the database, and then they would battle in the Tygon server. But they will have to authenticate a wallet with the Zilla Pass, because the thing is the PixZilla is like your digital license to play the game. You can't play without a PixZilla.
Pop, you seen this other game?
What in the world? Are you kidding me?
You want to describe what you're seeing, Popper?
I'm seeing an insider that just signed up for battle here.
And that's an Ethereum NFT.
Yeah, that's correct.
The way this game works, reading attributes on an NFT on Theta is the same as Ethereum. I said that strangely. Theta has worked very hard. Let me start here. Theta has a service. I'd have to look up the name of it. It's a translator. So if you're writing code that's meant for Ethereum, it also works on Theta. This is something we're using to look at NFT attributes to make them work in the game. So with this service Theta has, our code can look at either or contracts on Theta or Ethereum, or any EVM compatible collection for that matter.
That is wild.
But I mean, I don't want to give the impression that we're somehow automatically figuring out what effect attributes in an insider should do to combat stats. We're not doing that.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
But yes, it's there. And yes, we can define an archetype for that collection that makes that collection behave a certain way. Like maybe I'm just making stuff up, but maybe I haven't talked to them about this, but maybe Tygons are particularly agile. So when it comes to the bands they roll in, they lean that way. So we can do things like that, but we're not getting to the level that we do with PixZillas, where your stats are tied directly back to that attribute.
Well, I mean, you have a proven case study in the Zillas, and now you have a proven ability to use that same engine elsewhere. So that's pretty wild.
We have a couple of places we can use it, actually. There's another community who is open to WWZ, and that is the Fuse Wars community.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Ivory has shown an interest in drawing up some bosses, so that will be cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
And a server is welcome to have multiple bosses. So I'm going to ping you one more time in a different channel. So you might have a logical progression, right? If Humble Boss was our lower tier boss, we could simultaneously have other bosses that are more difficult. Here's one. We're showing Charzilla breathing fire in a very intimidating way. And so each one has a different scoreboard. Let me, if there's anything that you guys want to talk about for a minute, I'm going to add some data so I can show something.
I guess just one thing that I want to add is if what we're calling these are gyms. So the Tygons would be an external gym. The Fuse Wars would be an external gym. And this isn't like something that's fluid right now or set up, but the requirement is 50 PixZilla to open a gym at the moment. And it's not like if 10 people came to us tomorrow and asked to make a gym, like we couldn't be doing that. We're not set up like that, but that's the requirement.
Well, I mean, you just blew my mind with the 50 PixZilla. So you wanna run this game on your server with your NFTs, and you got to have a PixZilla buy-in.
Right. So I've got some images I can share that makes this make clear. It started as a relegation thing. So if you wanted to use an NFT in another server, it needs to be accounted for by a PixZilla somewhere. And so I've got these images where I'm showing like this Tygon is allowed to play because this PixZilla is not. And it just became.
Wait, can I call timeout? So does this mean that if somebody wants to use this technology, they would need a gym and they would need 50 PixZillas to run that?
Yeah, I mean, okay. If you strip all the language away, we're saying this is a Discord game you can add to your server right now.
Mm-hmm.
To do it, there's a requirement that you keep PixZillas on reserve because you're going to be able to use your own NFTs. So there can only be, I mean, when we were doing it 1-to-1, I mean, theoretically, you could only have 10,000 WWZ combatants active at one time, right? And it's just silly. We don't need to get that. It's easy to just say a gym, which is a section of your Discord server. So it's a category. What you guys are looking at right now, actually, the one that's I've named it very strangely to avoid prying eyes, but this thing called unnamed category Mac, that's going to get renamed to TZC, or it'll just say WWZ gym. But in the Tygons server, they might call it something else. That's their gym. It's that category is the gym. Any channels that fall under there, any channels the game generates, that's the gym.
So by the Tygons owning a gym, that gives them access to both the manned tournament types that we're having now and also the boss fights.
They host them in their server, yes. They can join ours, but they can run them as well.
So they would be able to set up both of those, right?
Right.
So
yes.
That's
both
cool.
formats. Yes.
So I'm assuming they would come up with their own Tygon bosses to battle against.
I bet they will.
Well, which means they would need PixZillas, right?
Right. They'll need a reserve.
That is what
the
it
gym will
means.
need a reserve. Yes.
I know it was said. I was just saying it again. I'm very impressed and excited. I know it's not coming out like that, but I am.
You said you wanted to see things that were getting built.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to do these boss things. There's just like you start thinking about it, and there's just so much you can do with this.
You can try it right now. There's sharp edges, but you can run one in that room.
I can just do it myself.
I think.
Yeah,
If you
can.
If you don't have access to the command, yeah, we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
WWZ new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it runs into a dead end, I'm sorry, but you know, it should work.
Yeah, I fired one right up.
That's true. That's a funny story. I was hoping the series of buttons at the bottom there, I called it the control panel earlier. I was hoping that was easy enough to use because it's a change from asking people to make commands. It seems easy, but before I even had a chance to ask him, Zilla had already ran a battle with it. So I was like, oh, good test.
We
All
might
right,
have to modify the integrations on Junior to
Sorry?
allow.
Okay.
Like, so these people that would use this, there's a lot they could do with that.
Yes.
Like giveaways. I mean, I'd rather go through something like this for a giveaway versus a retweet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is amazing. Honestly, getting you two together on a project is like, that's pretty cool.
Did we
You two
meet the
stand
hype
up
sheriff? Did we
Dude,
meet your expectations?
I didn't know. I had no idea what to expect, and this is definitely not what I was expecting based on not knowing what to expect. No, this is very cool. And like I said, you guys are still, this is, like you said, there's still kind of rough edges on this, but there's so much you guys can do with this. Like, I'm just picturing, like, this is like an arcade game. You go, I used to go bowling with my grandmother, like, every Saturday. And then it was like my turn to go. And then when I was done, it was her turn. Like, she had her league. And I'd go and I'd play the arcade games. And, you had like Mortal Kombat. And it's like, you beat the first one and then you level up to the next one. And it's just like, you could totally have this kind of a thing with like standings and stuff. Like, there's so much you can do. This is amazing.
And the standings that you're thinking of can be as siloed or as universal as you want, right? A server can choose to be its own thing, or, it's not hard to run a leaderboard that is universal. So I'm just really interested in that kind of thing. Like, I know it's a relatively simple game, but there is a depth to the decision that you can make in playing it, especially now with 4 on a team. They, change the strategy. But I'm excited about that, being able to take something, even something simple, and connect it to a bunch of communities and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
And we will be right back.
This week's episode is brought to you by Dr. Theta's Community Guardian Node. Theta's premier community guardian node, where you can stake your Theta if you don't run your own guardian node. Best of all, 100% uptime, so you do not miss any rewards, and 0 fees, so you earn 100% of your T-Fuel. Trusted by Theta Labs, you can easily stake directly within your wallet. Simply go to the staking tab, choose Delegated Guardian Node, and find Dr. Theta's Guardian Node. Quick, simple, reliable, and best of all, safe, as the coins never leave your wallet. Stake with the Doc today. This week's episode is brought to you by GuardiansOfTheta.com, offering 0% one-click Theta Guardian staking with random monthly token giveaways. Guardians also airdropped everyone staking with him an NFT that you're able to stake and earn T-Vibe. 100% uptime, 0 fees, random giveaways, what's not to love? Stop paying 4% and come join the fam with Guardians of Theta.
Papa Max, yeah. Papa Max. Papa Max Podcast. Papa Max Podcast.
So as people beat a boss,
Oh, you're keeping track.
And beat the next level of the boss, it gets harder and they go higher up the scoreboard. That's why I was like, when you were talking about an arcade, yes, that's exactly the feeling that I would hope someone gets looking at that leaderboard.
Yeah, 100%. Right. Because now you're just trying, like, and I'm just thinking, like, back playing the arcade, it was like I had an hour or whatever to see how high I could get. In this one, it's like you could have a month. Like, who can get the farthest up the leaderboard in a month, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, there's endless competitions you can design with this. It's
For sure.
Whatever you can come up with.
So now I happen to know the person that owns the Humble Boss. Is there a way for him to use the Humble Boss outside of having to play against himself here?
You guys are welcome to toss ideas around. We're not trying to elaborate on more than we've built out in 0.6. Like, this is all stuff that we're hitting you with now. So hit us with some ideas. And that's also a big part of what the discussion board, or not the discussion. Yeah, the discussion board's for in the Discord. We've got the week 3 mailbag open right now, week 1, week 2. Like, we totally welcome you guys to like pitch stuff for what to do. Like,
well, I think your mailbag is about to explode with some ideas after dropping this. And to be quite honest, like, you guys must have put a ton of work into this. Mac on the logistical back-end side, and you on the art side, because like all of these Zillas are coming out with like brand new artwork that never seen before on an NFT. It's all new stuff. So it's like, how much time have you guys put in, and how unusual is it, Mags, for a project to be doing this stuff behind the scenes without like announcing, here, this is what we're doing, guys, get hyped up. No, it's not like that. It's like, oh, here you go, guys, it's time to eat. How cool is that?
Oh, it's super cool. I was just getting my squad together
Yeah, it was fun hyping this episode up to you, Sheriff, because I mean, you've got plenty of PixZilla, and you didn't have a clue what we were going to talk to you about. And
I had no idea. Not
that's the
not
best
one
part.
not one clue. And it's not like I don't talk to you because, we talk on a pretty regular basis, but I knew none of this, not even one little bit. And when you brought even when you brought out like the Remix Master or the first iteration of WWZ where the actual game was happening, I knew none of it until everybody else in the Discord knew. And that's pretty cool. And obviously you guys haven't stopped. So kudos. Very cool.
It gives us a lot of advantages too, because we can prioritize whatever we want to prioritize, whatever makes the most sense. We're not really gonna run into any countdowns. I don't. I'm not afraid of the countdown page.
No, not yet. No, if it's amazing when you don't put time frames on stuff. There's nothing to reverse countdown from. So you kind of stay away from that.
Definitely, but you also have to remember, like we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be the 7th update since the hackathon ended. So,
yep,
you want to have a good pace to not be updating people about things. I understand both ways, but with the pace that we're running at, like y'all don't need to know anything.
100%. I completely agree. Even with the state of what WWZ was prior to this call, it was fun. You had a Discord full of people that were really enjoying these battles and memeing each other throughout the course of them. That slowed down a little bit, but there was super hype at the beginning. So I have a question. So now every time you run an update on these things, it wipes your stats clean from the previous iteration. Is that something that's going to continue, or are those stats completely lost, or are they gonna? Is there a time where the stats will continue to gain? Everyone doesn't start fresh.
Yeah, they'll be persistent here soon. I wanted to get especially these external combatants in, and feel good about the data schema behind the scenes before we really committed to that. But I think we're in a good spot now. It'll be soon.
All right.
Popper, you're echoing like crazy. Did you do something?
No, man. I put myself on mute. I heard myself echoing on somebody else's computer.
Well,
that might be from me. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. I'd rather just blame Popper.
It was my fault somehow for talking, I guess.
See, you gotta get the clap track right. You need a laugh track. You need a clap track. Because
he just Max sent me something.
I sent him a Stream Deck.
You sent him a Stream Deck?
No, the link to it.
Oh,
because he said soundboard, and I was like, "Well, this is what people do now. Try this."
Yeah.
Before it was getting very costly, but before we were doing a studio audience, live studio audience.
That was a fun time.
Yeah, I wish we had the recording for it.
So Popper was arguing with me. I told him ThetaZilla was our first guest season 1, and season 2 he's our first guest because we haven't interviewed anyone yet this season. He's trying to say he interviewed me season 1 first. None of this says that doesn't count.
Wait, what? Dude, you are just making this stuff up. I never said that. That's ridiculous.
We have it all recorded, Sheriff.
And I would love for you to play it for me.
Well, unfortunately, we can't do it right now.
Well, I can't wait to hear it on the final version here.
Yeah.
But really, I was the first and second interview of season 1 because we had the unaired episode.
Yeah. Yes, that one which will never be spoken of again.
It was a great episode, but yeah.
We were trying to find our way.
I think that did help you guys find your way, though. It ended up working out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We had this great first episode, and then Popper decided, hey, let's, that first episode was great. Let's bring TZC on, and let's just go a complete 180 from what we were doing that was good.
Well, dude, what else were we supposed to do? We went over like 6 months worth of stuff in one episode. We used all of our weapons.
No, but I agree with TCC. It was good that we had that dud.
Right.
And just for the record, my jokes didn't fall flat, if I recall. But regardless.
On the original?
Oh,
The original. URP had the lost episode. You have the real lost episode.
Dude, that was a great episode because I was out.
On a boat.
Yeah, I was towing a boat.
Yeah.
That was classic. I remember I think I forgot like the tow rope on the guy's dock, and I was like, shit, guys, I gotta turn around and get this rope. Hung up and bolted back to this guy's dock and grabbed the rock, and he or the rope, and he was out on the dock like smoking a stogie or something. Like, what are you doing? Like, gotta get my rope. He's like, okay, cool. I got back on the boat. We started chatting more. That was fun.
So we went from there to Dwayne the Pog Johnson. So that's a...
Oh, boy.
For whatever reason, I thought that was hysterical at the time. Whoever tweeted that from our account.
Dwayne the Pog Johnson. Oh, it's cool, though, that Dwayne is potentially going to be doing something with the Pogs.
Yeah,
Rumor has it.
I heard it might be Summer Slammer. Yeah.
But
One laugh. Well, you know, what are you going to do?
So I
Sheriff's
see
training for
here.
battle against. Oh, is this the humble boss?
So
we didn't tell him he can use an entrance gift now, a walk-up gift.
Oh yeah, yeah, guys. There's entrance gifts for your team.
Also, death gifts.
Death gifts, and those are in the FFA too, correct?
Yeah, that'll
Nice.
cover you anywhere. That's your player preference. Oh, and you can name your teams. There's all sorts of little goodies that
Wow.
we'll add in. But the big reason to talk was adding a format and branching out into other servers.
So now I was able to add 4 combatants, and it looks like each time it counts as a roll. Is that?
Yeah, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna stop you.
No, I think you have 5 rolls for 4 people.
It don't take too much away from that. It's not. I think I actually have the reroll limiter off. It's just showing you the number that was still there from FFA. So that's not
Gotcha.
set yet.
Okay.
No, the intent is you will get to reroll some of your 4, but have to make some kind of decision so that you can't just, end up with 4 great ones all the time.
Yeah, I love the way it's set up, where it's like part skill, part luck, part having a quality Zilla counts for something. It's nice.
Just as we expand, because we only put in the WWZ Alpha kit.
True.
We're gonna add, but it hasn't been the time to just fill what we've created so far. Still rapid development mode, but yeah, definitely don't want to get into like an HP plus situation again. There will be HP plus attributes in the WWZ kits, so you'll be able to get all the power you need just from rolling.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. But I'm assuming that would not completely take away the ability to get plus attributes by having rare Zillas, or is it going to completely replace that?
However we want it to be, really. I don't think it should. I feel like having rare attributes should count for something, but it can't be to the point where someone
Right.
can't beat you.
Right, where it's the same 5 people and ending, 1 through 5 every time.
Yeah, because what makes a lot of this space fun is how dynamic it is. And like, that's the most fun to me, is just the randomness.
Humble Boss just attacked 2 people with dodgy puns.
Yeah, twice in a row. FYI.
He's spamming the puns.
This is not surprising. I think I actually turned those up for this, hoping it would happen. You don't have that level of control, but you can influence the probabilities. So,
23
Mags,
turns.
when you get 2 turns in a row, that second turn only does damage. It doesn't get you back more stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's just a way to avoid a streak becoming too powerful. Like, it should give you something. That's a good result.
Yeah, I
But
think
yeah.
I read that in the release notes.
Yeah. You just made me so happy.
Gotta check them
Unless
out,
you
guys.
said that ironically to pick on me.
I would never. I would never.
I love the patch notes. That's like my favorite part of the updates almost. Just seeing it all written out so everyone can check it out.
This set was fun to write. Yeah.
When do we roll out the next version of this? When do you guys think that these boss fights are going to be ready for public consumption.
With the episode is the intent.
Oh, sweet.
This is now.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
the sharp-
we're not showing any cards. Y'all still don't have a roadmap or really know what we're up to.
Right. Yeah, no, you're just dropping what you got, which is still amazing. But I know you had said there was some sharp edges on it. I wasn't sure if that was like, this is like 90% or this is like going to be ready to go.
I mean, it's playable. I think the issue you ran into there a minute ago is probably with this being my laptop because it's the dev environment. So it's playable. It's still got some text that I want to see be a little more friendly in certain places, but no, it's at the point where it would benefit from people trying it. So might as well show it to them.
And I'm assuming, is this the same thing with Tygons? They're going to have access to this in the very near future?
Yep. This is the same release. 06
Oh,
covers
wow.
all of this.
Wow. And Fuse Wars 2, you said?
I don't.
Or is that down the road?
I think that's a newer development. The Tygon server is the pilot outside of kind of the Zilla ecosystem.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, you should see that going up this week.
That's awesome.
Wow.
All right, shout out Tygons. That's nice. I mean, looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it too. Hopefully they can get some new John Heater. Maybe we'll get some Liger bosses.
Ooh,
Right, that's exciting.
that sounds good. Good
That'd
idea.
be cool. Did you see the Tygon that Rob drew? Like, I think Rob did a take on it, like a Psycho KO Tygon.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked
loved
it.
I must have missed that. Was that on Twitter recently?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, check Rob's Twitter.
Okay.
it's a really good combination of the styles.
Yeah.
So, Zilla, how long were you working on the art for these things? For the Zilla parts?
Which are you referring to?
Like the
the
combatants
update?
mostly, but I know you must have been doing stuff for, because you had all sorts of different things for the good morning, good nights too. But all the other artwork, it was like we didn't even know there was new artwork happening.
Right. I can make it at a furious pace when I have permission to like rapidly fill in attributes. It's gonna get off the chain. I can build quick.
Wait, what do you mean by that? When you have permission to rapidly fill
We're
in?
not adding a bunch of things in at once. Whenever we add a new attribute in it, it changes all the star counts. It takes us away from what we're doing.
Wait, so you're saying there's more art that you haven't dropped in there yet?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
saying that I can build art for it very quickly.
Gotcha. So
So
that could be part of the
WWZ
mailbag
was
thing.
probably a 3-day build.
For all of that new art stuff, like the ninjas and all
yeah,
those
but it
detail
might not have
mechanics?
been 3 days.
three 24-hour sessions.
Something like, I mean, that's how I work, honestly. But yeah, something like that. It was quick. Same with the PixZilla V2 when I took them off from the 75 by 75 and moved them to 150 by 150.
Yeah.
Really, what took the most time was rebuilding 100 customs. That was time heavy.
I bet. Yeah.
WWZ, it's 100 attributes. I think it was 3 Photoshop sessions, 3 days.
Impressive.
Thank you.
I mean, some of those combatants that come out and they're just like, they look real cool.
I'm glad you like them, man. I really am. What's really cool to me about it is like there were areas in the OG collection that were lacking, like clothing, prop, and it's the pixel count that I use. It was tough to build on in terms of like clothing and props and whatnot. But the new remade version of it is it's way friendlier to adding clothing to, way friendlier for props. So we were really able to fill it up and really make the weaknesses kind of strengths.
Very cool. I mean, did we miss anything that you guys wanted to relay here? Because I mean, I'm completely blown away, but don't want to miss out on anything else that you guys had.
I got to explain why I do things on Twitter with puns, so there are reasons for the things that I do. I think Andrea's on that thread too. She's probably like, that alligator is crazy.
I love the alligator on there, by the way.
It's classy.
He's a WWZ remix. That's the Navy hat.
Yeah, it's classy.
Love it.
Love it. Yeah.
Shit, I gotta apologize. I told you I would tell you before I shut off the ThetaZilla mint.
Oh, are you serious?
Oh, I shut it off right before this call.
Whoa. Okay. All right. That's fair. I mean, it's more fair doing it before I get a chance to tap it a few more times and nobody else does. Okay. All right. Wow. All right. Just a mind-blowing episode here.
He just saved that for the end.
Yeah, right. Wow. All right. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. All those poor ThetaZillas. They're gone. What a shame.
It's PixZilla season, in my opinion, but
well, yeah,
I mean, there too, and they ain't minting anymore.
Sounds like if you got an NFT project, you're probably going to want at least 50 PixZillas. So.
Right.
Well, guys, I got to say, man, this was I was looking forward to this one for sure, and it did not disappoint. Love what you guys are doing. It's amazing.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, and thank you, Mac, for like all the hard work you do on the back end, man. Like you're the man. Like, guys, we wouldn't be where we are without Macktastic. So I just want everyone to know that and just express my gratitude to him.
Thank you.
No, you two are definitely on my list of favorite people within the Theta community that I've met. So when I heard you guys were working together, it's honestly like you guys are a great combo. I like giving you both a hard time. You both give me a hard time back. It works. It's great.
And not to be left out, there's a third leg to make that all work. The work Frack has been doing for the last year is really lets us build these kinds of things because that's taken care of. You know, some of that infrastructure is not easy, and I've been able to just work on the game itself. That's awesome.
Thank you for bringing that up too, Mac. Thank you, Frack, for like everything, man.
It's easy for me to remember because I know how annoying some of those things are, and he's just got it working really smoothly. It's nice.
Right. It is like running at its smoothest right now. The Zilla Pass, like I've been just so pleased. It's been a dream.
And it's one of those things where we would never know. You know, you only know these kind of things if it's not working, right? So yeah, amazing. Frack, shout out, good guy too. Haven't met him, but you know, had a lot of back and forth with him. Another good guy in the ecosystem for sure.
I appreciate that you appreciate my Frack and Mac Little Mermaid meme.
Yes, dude, amazing.
My proudest meme accomplishment.
That is a great meme.
Yeah, I love it. That was Zilla, when you put that one on there for the first time, you had me laughing out loud, literally.
Zilla has never expressed disappointment at being portrayed as Ursula, so thank you.
It's too funny.
It's tried. But yes, we're scheming.
That's the thing, though, is like, yeah, Mac and I, we're your friends, but you know that the two of us together are going to come up with like some crazy schemy shit that like is just out of this world.
Yeah, there's certainly a risk factor as well to having you guys together. Like I could totally see just like my guys getting nerfed in some way. No, but you guys are cool.
You just play from one of your many other wallets, I'm sure.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
What's funny is we haven't even done any balancing updates that haven't come without like a separate major update. Like,
yeah,
we haven't just been like, oh, this one's winning too much, we're gonna knock him down a peg. Like, it's all been major updates, not like balance isn't a major update, I don't think.
It's like the game has to get to a certain level of maturity before I want people to care about the minutia to a degree that they count on it, right? Like, I don't want you to get too caught up in one build strategy or anything yet when we're still making big fundamental changes. We'll tune it when the time comes, but just have fun for now.
Yeah. And I've been just moving towards these 1-a-day battles. Today was a 1-a-day, yesterday was a one battle day. Just with the addition of the new player versus boss, like I feel like one FFA, that's a good community session. And then if you got the WWZ bug and you need a battle during the day, we got bosses ready for you.
And setting up a boss team is a little more involved. You know, you're going to roll for 4 players and make those decisions. So, and you can set your entrance and exit gifts. So more to do.
Right. Those are going to be fun. Team name, entrance,
name your teams,
exit gift.
Lots of little goodies.
Nice. That'll be a lot of fun. I can already hear like all the WWE entrance music and stuff. The entrance guys.
Perfect.
I'd just circle back and point out that, like, remember the premise that we did begin to build this thinking, how are we going to run 17,000 on-chain transactions in a day? So,
and that doesn't sound like a lot to me.
Yeah, that just
Don't
makes
put that
it
in.
like the majority D app, like makes us have more transactions than everyone else combined. But
Right.
We could probably do more.
Like, this is a game where you have a reason to want actions to be written somewhere, right? Like, we're talking about spanning multiple servers and doing all sorts of weird stuff. Like, this is where you start to want every turn written to something. So I think there's a way this can generate a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like, y'all remember Crypto Kitties?
I just remember it. It was like when that came out, it just like destroyed the network.
Yeah.
Well, one of the POG team members was a marketer on the CryptoKitties team.
Oh, wow.
really?
That's interesting.
Wow.
That's cool.
Check the white paper. I think that was that's the section. As far as like, I'm sending Popper a couple screenshots and like talking about this, it really is going to be live Tuesday morning. Like, we could push what we have, what you see here now, and just embrace a few more bugs than we'd like. So, maybe hold screenshots and mentions for a day, but that's it. Like, once the episode's out, we want it out.
Awesome. Yeah, I will. Yeah, we'll wait till it drops, but that's great.
You're like, screw you. I'm not sharing it with anybody. It's not interesting. Just things you have to say.
Right.
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 Normal
yeah.
things to say.
No, this thing sucks. You guys wasted your time. No one's gonna like it.
Part of the reason is it's also Tygon's announcement, right? Like,
Gotcha. Yeah. No,
They
that's
get to
cool.
have some fun with it.
And so they're in line they're ready to announce it too. So that's cool.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to give the impression that there's a big campaign around it or anything. It's just they're excited to try it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Little
it's,
icing.
they're not going to hold it up. So they basically said, let's go with the episode, and then everybody learns at the same time and we can play.
Nice. That's awesome, guys. Well, appreciate you reaching out to get on here and joining us. This has been incredible, and just ready for what you guys got coming next. It's you guys are an amazing team, and Frack involved too, and really appreciate what you guys are up to.
Thank you for having us on such short notice. I hit y'all up. I think it was Thursday and said, "Hey, can I do the podcast this weekend? Or can Mac and I do it this weekend?" And y'all are quick, so we could. We allowed to come back on sometime?
Always.
Nice.
You know it.
Let us know, and we'll make sure it's the 3rd season. We'll just stop the season.
Maybe Zilla will be season 3's villain.
I don't see that happening.
Maybe, who knows?
Popper thought it was Popper thought it was season 1 last week. It seemed like throwing some shade towards Mac. It sounded like.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I didn't mean that.
That's what I thought.
Is that an apology?
Yes, Mac, I'm sorry about that. You were the season 1 villain. Your turn was over. We're in season 2. That should have been directed
Swamp
at
ass.
OG Swampy.
I understand that the shadow I cast was hard to shake. I forgive you.
Quite hard. I'm still wondering.
Season 1 was epic.
Still wondering who Nothing Flash is. But
This has been a great episode. That was the third apology. Max, do you have anything to like apologize for just while we're here?
Just in general to anyone listening to us. It's just my standard go-to. But I really mean it.
all right, guys. Well, thanks again, and I'm gonna call it a night, and I'll see you guys on the boards tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. We'll catch y'all in battle.
Yes, for sure.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All
Have
right.
a great night, everyone.
You as well. Thank you so
Later,
much.
guys.
Later.
Papa Max Podcast.
You have been listening to the Pops and Mags Pinecast. Music provided by Sushi Cat. Like what you hear? Send that cat a very nicely worded compliment on Twitter at JustAddSpam. Pops and Mags is a Scumbag Hat production in association with Kyle's Hot Tub.